Morning.
Morning. We've woken up in a Viking graveyard.
Much better than the laundry.
We're not actually in the graveyard. We're in the car park alongside it, but
We are.
you couldn't come to Denmark without visiting the largest Viking graveyard.
Look at that behind us. Gorgeous forest. I mean, if you're ever going to have to rest somewhere for 10 centuries, I can't think of a better place.
Right, let's go and have a look. Nala knows where she's going. Maybe she can smell the bones. As with a lot of these attractions, no dogs in the museum. So we're going to have a walk around the graveyard first and put Nala back in the van, and then we're off into the museum. The locals have come out, taking particular interest in Nala. So that's one way to keep the grass down. Let's be honest, you're not getting a lawnmower in amongst these.
If sheep could ever look battle ready, these ones do. They're a bit Viking looking.
Oh, no, that's like a Viking boat.
They've got to be individual graves, haven't they? I don't really believe in ghosts, but it feels like this whole place is like vibrating with this low-level energy. So cool. How amazing. So apparently this place was discovered in 1901 and then excavated in the 1950s. And as well as having hundreds of Vikings and earlier folk here, the earliest graves here are from 400 AD, and then the later ones at this end are from the Viking era. There are also over 200 dogs buried here with their masters. Christians may not believe that dogs go to heaven, but Vikings clearly believed that dogs came into the afterlife with you. Fascinating, fascinating place.
The men were usually buried under triangular, wait for it, ship-shaped stone settings.
Yay!
While women's graves were marked with circular and oval settings of stones. So there we go, that's the difference. The triangular ones are the men and the circles and the ovals are women. God, that was hard to say. Ship-shaped stone settings. Ship-shaped stone settings. I'm just trying to decide whether there's moles around here or it's a scene from The Walking Dead, because it looks like the Vikings are trying to escape.
There are some really large oval graves here as well, which signify that they were important women in Viking society. Now, while Vikings still lived in a patriarchal society, compared to the rest of the world standards at the time, women had a lot of rights. While they weren't allowed to stand in court or hold any political power, and most of them were indeed housewives, they were allowed to make decisions on marriage, and they were allowed to get divorced if their marriage didn't work out. However, men were allowed to bring various mistresses into the home, and the wife would have power over all of them. But female infidelity was punished hard, with women often facing death.
And the best part about visiting Lindholm Hoyt is it's free. You can park overnight in the car park, you can walk around the graveyards, all for free. The museum, that's not so free, but at only 10 Danish kroner, so it's about, what, 12 quid each?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to give it a go.
Absolutely. The entire site is just surrounded by these thick beech woods. Absolutely lovely. It's quite hard to imagine this entire site being covered in sand, but that's what happened and why the Vikings eventually abandoned this site. When you look at the map, we're on the Jutland Peninsula now. When you look at the map, we're at the very north, which is almost an island. I mean, I was following the river that goes through in the fjords yesterday, and it is to all intents and purposes cut off from the Jutland Peninsula. Although I think it was King Harold who built the first bridge here and brought Christianity to Denmark. Well, if you do come here to the Viking graveyard, we don't recommend you fly a drone. I'll let Stuart tell you what happens if you do.
Yeah, had a visit from a couple of guys in military uniform. Now, on my DJI app, it said it was an enhanced warning zone, but not a restricted zone. So I popped it up in the air, low altitude, as you'll see from the shots. It's actually a lower altitude permitted here than it is in the UK, according to the app. But anyway, these two soldiers turned up with sidearms and all sorts, and asked for some ID, and I gave him my driving license, and he said, okay, what will happen now is we'll take your ID and then the police will come and who knows what will happen. At which point I was a bit 5p, 50p, but they were lovely, they were really nice. They asked why I was here. I said I was on holiday. Yeah, I'm still a little bit a bit shaky now. But yeah, they were lovely. So he took my details and explained that here you can't fly within 8 miles of an airport. Yeah, they were really nice. While one guy was filling in my details, I said, well, what will happen when the police turn up, thinking, am I going to jail? Am I going to lose the drone, the memory card? Am I going to get fined? And he said, nothing, the police won't come. He says, we will take your details, and when we're finished, you can go on your way and enjoy the rest of your holiday. So they were lovely. Here's a selfie to prove that they were friendly. And yeah, don't fly a drone here. The museum is split into 2 sections. The first tells of a world outside the village, as at this time Denmark was taking its place in history and becoming a single country with one king. The second shows what the village looked like over the ages, how the inhabitants were dressed, how they cultivated the soil, which animals they kept, and how they managed a whole series of day-to-day activities.
Well, that was brilliant.
Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Handy that they put most of the exhibitions in English as well, not all of them. Some of them it's purely Danish, but on the whole you can understand most of what's going on, which is handy because neither of us speak Danish.
Or can pronounce it.
No, not the truth.
yeah, that was well worth the £10, but the actual site is free. It's just the museum you pay for. And yeah, we've had a really brilliant day.
Yeah.
All of these things in Denmark are so well organised, and yeah, you get a lot for your money.
Yeah, and just for interest, kids 0 to 17 are free, so it's only adults that you pay 100 kroner. So if you're coming over as a family, even better value. Well, that's us leaving the Viking burial ground, and as we left, right next door is some sort of military base and firing range, which would explain where the soldiers came from. That wasn't on Google Maps. Anyway, let's go. Cold Hawaii, here we come. Literally about half a mile round the corner from that shooting range is a massive military base. One of those big fighter jets on a stand in front, and yeah, razor wire all the way around it. No wonder they didn't want the drone up. It's funny because I checked the DJI app and I checked one of my other drone apps. None of them said that there was a restricted airspace, but as I said earlier, I don't argue with people with guns, so yeah, lesson learned. Really? Are we at the beach?
What time did I do this up the beach?
Here we are in cold Hawaii, and I must say, if they had these back home, I might be tempted to get in the water a little bit more often. How cool is that? A sauna you can rent by the hour or by the day.
So cool. I'd be in the sea every day if I had one of those. I fancy a dip today, but it's a bit late in the day now. It's a bit chilly. I must put a coat on.
So this place is actually called Klipmoller Strand, Strand being beach we think, but it's known locally as Cold Hawaii. And I kind of see why, although it's not particularly cold today. The surfers seem to enjoy it, even on a calm day like today. Our navigation has been to Cold Hawaii. What a beautiful place to end the day. You can see how it's going to be busier in peak season, but yet again, out of season, almost got the place to ourselves. Stunning place.
Another day and another amazing park app. Vans there. Little picnic area there, little sheltered area with tables and benches, and there's a toilet just behind with fresh water, beautiful pond over there. We're right in the middle of a big forestry area, and then just over here are these shelters that are all over the country. You can literally come here and do a through hike and just bring a sleeping bag and a camping map with you. It's absolutely amazing. I just can't believe how well facilitated this entire country is for camping spots. I mean, look at that. I mean, look, these little shelters are everywhere. This place is just set up for outdoor living. It's just brilliant, the whole country. Really, really impressed. We love it. I think I've said this in a previous video, but oh, it's like a heaven for van lifers and campers and hikers. It's just brilliant. Yeah, I love these shelters. They're so good. Yeah, there's even more over here. Look at it. And then I can see another little shelter over there, just on the other side of the pond. Right in the middle of the forest, like the little troll I am. Love it. I've just found the barbecue spot as well. Nearly all of these have got this spot for outdoor cooking. Oh, that one's still hot as well. And they obviously get used because that's the second one we stayed at, which is still red hot. So I noticed here and in another spot we stayed at where the fire was burning when we got there, just kind of smouldering away so you could fire it back up again. And there's a couple of signs here in Danish that we've just translated, and it says, if it burns, it is lit by the people of the forest. Please leave it burning. I mean, how cool is that? You don't even need a lighter. The fire's burning for you. I love this place. Denmark, I love you. Stu's going out to get the campfire going so we can sit out tonight in the forest, and then I'm making a bit of a mishmash dinner. So there's like cheesy dip in the oven, and then I've got a huge pizza base like this, and I'm just covering it with garlic butter, and then I'm just going to put mozzarella on the top of that, and that can go in the oven too. And then I cooked a joint of ham because we're looking at having an oven in the van, and I'm just going to slice that up and we're going to have that too. We're just going to have the whole lot and just sit by the fire and eat it, which sounds perfect. Yeah, this is a really nice cut park at these little places that are like designed for free camping around the country. Are honestly, they're a nomad's dream. They're absolutely brilliant. I love it here so much. Something else I noticed out there earlier as well, I found a gravestone in the forest, so I thought that's a bit odd, so I just translated it now, and it says that somebody who died in 1999 and was planted as an ash, and indeed about 2 foot behind the gravestone was an ash tree that looked about 20 years old. So yeah, new desire unlocked. When I die, bury me in the Danish forest and let a tree grow out of me. I mean, oh, how cool is that? Right, I better get on with this, otherwise you'll have the fire raging and I won't be done. Perfect.
Enjoying Denmark the way the Danish do. Couldn't ask for better. They've even left a pile of firewood alongside the fire, although I got some of ours out the garage as well, just to top it up and keep the fire burning, as they say. If it is burning, keep it burning. I think on that note, it's time to end the video. So we will catch you in the next episode.
If you're liking what you see, don't forget to give us a like down below and subscribe. It really helps us keep making videos.
Thanks very much. See you soon.
See you next week.